In this video, I wanted to look at the aorta and its branches. So you should recognize from the coloring sheet that we did that this part right here is the aorta. And as the aorta comes up, makes the arch, and then comes down, it's going through the chest cavity right here, and then when it passes through the diaphragm and goes into the abdominal cavity, it's called the abdominal aorta. And that will become important in a little bit. But what I really wanted to focus on is these three branches coming off the top of the aortic arch. Now, because we have the right side of the mannequin, we're only going to deal with the branches that go to the right side of the body. These two branches, this one and this one, go to the left side of the body. And remember that left and right is always from the subject's perspective, not from your perspective. So this is actually left, and this is actually right. So this artery right here, arteries carry blood away from the heart. That's what these arrows are showing. This artery right here is the left subclavian artery. Sub, if you remember, or maybe you don't, but sub means below or underneath, and clavian refers to the clavicle. So this is an artery that goes under or behind the clavicle, and it goes to the left side of the body, and then it would continue down to the arm. And we'll see that happening on the right side as well. This artery that goes to the left side of the body is called the left common carotid artery. Do you remember what I told you before when we were talking about nerves, what common means? Common, hopefully you do remember, means shared. So what's going to happen is that this common carotid artery is going to branch again into two other carotid arteries, the external and the internal carotid artery. The carotid artery is the artery that you can feel your pulse in your neck. And it's also the artery that you really don't want to get sliced open because you'll be dead in a matter of minutes. So these arteries both go to the left side of the body. And we're not going to worry too much about those because they are we have the right side of the mannequin and those go to the left side of the body. So what we're going to be looking at now is these arteries that will go to the right side of the body. If you notice, the structure on these arteries is a little bit different. There is a branch that is shared from these two arteries, but this is not called a common anything. This first chunk of artery that goes from the aortic arch to where it branches is called the brachiocephalic artery. And I should have written that so I could put it all on one piece or all on one line, because brachiocephalic is all one word. So that is the brachiocephalic artery. But this will work out all right. Brachio refers to brachial, like the brachial region. Do you remember where the brachial region is? That's right, it's the upper arm. And then we also talked about the cephalic region. Where was the cephalic region? All right, it's the head region. So the brachiocephalic artery carries blood to both the upper arm, the brachial region, and the head, the cephalic region. But that's just this first little chunk. Once it branches, and the end of the clavicle is right about here. Once it branches, this branch that goes up towards the head is the right common carotid artery. And this artery that goes along the clavicle towards the right arm is the right subclavian artery. So there is a right subclavian and a left subclavian. There's a right common carotid and a left common carotid, but on the right side, coming off the aortic arch, is this brachiocephalic artery that is just this one little section right here. In the next video, I will have placed the heart in the mannequin in Chad, and you'll see how this all works out, and we'll continue with the video tour of the arteries from there.